Hey guys, Rachel here. Today we have a super special episode with one of our members all the way from Ireland. His name is John, and he's going to tell you about this awesome WhatsApp group that he created full of business owners in his community. Not only is this group growing his print business, it's also going to be a way for him to fill these community cards quickly and efficiently. So, what he plans to do is just grow the group, build trust with these guys, have meetups in person. Not only is it going to be benefiting his business, it's going to be benefiting everybody's business who's participating. So, he is a perfect example of leading with helping and make sure that you are putting others first. And that is always going to come back to you. He's going to tell you about his story of how he built this WhatsApp group, what he's built with it so far, a meetup that they had in person, and what it's done for his business. So I guarantee this strategy is going to help him be able to send out one message to all of these business owners, and he's going to have a card full. Inside of our community, we talk about strategies like this to grow print business, to grow a postcard business, to grow whatever business it is that you are trying to grow, and also turn side hustles into a business like this. If you are a side hustler and you started a WhatsApp chat like this, you could easily grow a business with it. So if you want to learn more about that, hop into our community and we would love to see you in there. All right, welcome everybody. Today we have John all the way from Ferrybank in Ireland, which is actually not too far from where my mom lives. If you can imagine that. So John is a part of our community and what he is building with his WhatsApp group and really mingling inside of the community is not only benefiting his print business, but also what he plans to do with these community cards. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy what he has to say. So John, if you want to tell us a little bit about us, that'd be awesome. Or about you, not us. Don't tell us about us.
Sure. But thanks, yeah, thanks for that, Rachel and Dalton. It's great to be on the call. But yeah, look, what I've decided, I've been doing a lot of community work over the last 13 years. And I've also got my own print business. At one time, I had 25 staff, six shops. It was a big business. I sold out in 2005. And since then, I've been working at home, pretty much being as a print broker. So I outsource everything, which is great.
That is
Uh,
great.
yeah, so I have low overheads. I have no staff. I outsource everything, but I can deliver great quality, and I know the printing business really well. So the community card has fascinated me. I'm really interested in developing that because I think it'll help the community a lot. And a lot of what I do is based on givers gain, which is really about giving without expectation of return. And I find that it's the best way that I've found of getting business,
Yeah.
which might sound counterproductive, but it really is.
No,
Um,
I totally agree with you. And that is something that we practice in both of our businesses. We are always aiming to help first, and then like it just ends up coming back to you. So always lead with helping. I think that's why we gravitate towards you, John, because you're always kind of like sharing some of the same things that we always say, like help first, the money comes back to you. It might not be from that same person, but it will be back to you. So I
Right.
think we love that about you. Mhm.
yeah, thanks for that. And like what I decided to do was to set up. I had tried setting up a group on Facebook for the local business owners, but it didn't work very well. The engagement was very poor. People were not always on Facebook. I think it's different with consumers, but with the business owners, it really wasn't working to the level that I wanted it to put it out. And so that's why I decided to go for WhatsApp because it's on your phone, you're notified, it's more immediate, and that's why I chose it. Like where we are at the moment, I mean, originality, I think we mentioned it before, I called it the Ferrybank Business Community Group because our group, our area has 5,500 population. It has a lot of potential, but it also has a lot of challenges at the moment. There are 70 million euro worth of construction taking place over the last year and a half, and it has really disrupted business.
Wow.
So I was actually really surprised with the number of business owners that I found because I mean they're the obvious ones on the high street, I suppose. Your local butcher, your local post office, your retailer. But there's all these businesses working from home that I discovered. And that was a key. learning curve for me as well. So we're at the moment we have 104 business owners in that group, and it's been really tremendous. So that's basically what I did. I just literally promoted it on Facebook. Uh, you know, I used Facebook. I used cold calls. I used referrals from other members. As members joined, I said, "Look, who else do you know that would benefit from this group?" Sometimes they'd reach out. More often, they came to me and said, "John, I think such and such a person would be good," and I'd reach out to them.
Very
But
cool. So when you say you promoted on Facebook, like, are you talking local Facebook groups?
yeah,
Okay.
there's the local Ferrybank community
Yeah.
Facebook. I promoted
Okay.
it on that. So I targeted for business owners. This is your community, a chance to engage. I can put out if you're putting up this video, obviously I can add the little invite that I sent out. It's very simple, just very, very, very basic, but
Very
it
cool.
worked really, yeah, it worked really well. People immediately started joining, and like I said, we tracked it every 10. We got a bit of fun, and we brought it up. So the vision really for me was to connect the local business owners because it had never been done before. And if you think about most areas, there isn't really you might have a local BNI, but it's just the members of BNI. There really isn't a community of business owners in an area, I discovered. So, and I said, look, it's very simple. There's no pressure to post. It's about helping each other, non-corporate, non-pressure, and building relationships and finding out who else is there, what type of issues do we have, how can we help each other. That was basically it. Now, look, a typical one. This one came in today. One of the local councillors, I don't know if you have councillors in the States, but they're like your local politician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. We have like
Mhm.
commissioners is what they call them.
Yeah.
So what's been really interesting since launching this in last April, people now are starting to recognise that I'm the go-to guy if they want to find out about a business owner, if they want to find out about is there such and such a thing. So
You have
it's
the
really
inside information.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So Tomas Brannock, he approached me and he heard that there was no ATM machine in Ferrybank. Now, if you can imagine, 5,500 people, there's no ATM, and he heard about it. We know that in our own group, but it is a problem for residents. So he was asking, like, could you put it into your Facebook group? Ask them, do they have any solutions, or would it be better if I go to the bank? So I put it in the group. Sorry, lads, I'm just trying to get down to the next part here. I'm not sure what's happening here. Here we are.
Hey, John, before we move on to that, like, so you guys don't have any chamber of commerce or anything like that. It's just potentially BNI groups.
Yeah, there's the BNI group. Now, Walford City is right just across the bridge, and that has a population of 50,000. And there's the Walford Chamber of Commerce. But you know what? I was a member of the chamber for years, and what I find, if you're familiar with BNI, I love BNI. I was involved for many years. I was a chapter director for years. In BNI, you have an inner circle of people that join initially, okay? And then you have everybody else that comes along. And why BNI, or one of the reasons why BNI works so well, is the members are trained to draw those members, the new people, into the inner circle, right? As
Right.
quick, as quickly as possible. The same doesn't happen with the Chamber of Commerce. What
Yeah.
tends to happen is you have the people in the middle, they know what's going on, they're getting all the business, they have good relationships, and the new person that joins is left on the outside. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, I can speak to that too because we've been to a few Chamber of Commerce meetings and like you really feel awkward a lot of the time because now you see like groups of 8 people or people of like 8 or bigger that are sitting around in a circle talking and you got new people sitting in the corner and there's not really any like I guess strong introductions to kind of like, hey, if you're new, like makes you like you have to talk to someone. There's no way to just push the new people out in front of the group and really get them recognized and start to make the right connection. So yeah, you kind of there's no training behind it. It's just like
Yeah.
there it feels like a high school clique.
Right.
and
Yeah.
they think they're a networking group, but they're not actually. Like they might have business after hours,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they don't work at helping the new members
No.
integrate. They
Yeah.
don't do that. So that's what happened. So basically, I put up the question today about the ATM, and what was brilliant was, and again, look, this is the power of the group. Jonathan came back. He's the manager of the local Tesco Express, and he said, "Look, we have applied. We have an ATM installation late January. Look, that's great news."
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, so I've taken that out, and I'm putting that out on Facebook later to let the residents know that look, there is a new ATM solution on the way, which helps Jonathan. It'll promote his business, and
Yep.
just so I find the group here great because you've got a finger on the pulse. You're finding out what's going on. That gives me content for the Facebook group. It'll help me with the 9 by 12 card. It's all about whatever, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean it's value. Like that's what
Mhm.
you're bringing. Like it's not just you're not selling anything. You're actually showing other people the amount of value that you can bring to these groups and the community. Not even the business owners. Like you just said that you're getting free content just by the communication going on inside the WhatsApp group where you now you get to share it with the consumer that there's an ATM business like or the an install going in. I don't remember the guy's name. Was it Jonathan you
Jonathan.
said?
Hmm.
Yeah. And he's getting, that in his business, which is going to promote him. I mean, this is a ton of value
Yeah.
to like a consumer. That they're like, hey, now I don't have to. I don't know how far you got to walk. I know Ireland people walk a lot. You guys don't like to drive.
And the other thing again is that how easy it is for me to go to Jonathan and say, Jonathan, look, I've got a new community card, and explain the benefits. So like it's not like I'm talking to a stranger. I'm talking to somebody that has come in, and see, here's the key thing as well. What I find with the WhatsApp group, it doesn't really matter, I suppose, what the platform is, but when you get them in here, a lot of the time they don't actually say much. And you're thinking, is anybody listening? But I tell you, they are listening, and they know what's going on. And when something that's relevant to them comes up, they're in.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
you know,
Dalton and I experience that, in the community that you're in. We'll be sharing things, posting things, and then we might have a conversation with someone who hasn't really posted much, and they're like, "Oh yeah, when you posted that or when you made that video," and it's like they are listening. They are there for a reason. They might not be interacting that much, but they're still getting value, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and you want to see like when I add a new member into this group, there's always like at least 6 to 10 likes. People that are in there already are just giving the well done, brilliant. When they talk privately, they tell me, John, you're doing some work in that. That's fantastic. Like, oh my God, So
Yeah.
the value is there. It's not always apparent if you're looking for you know instant hits, in terms of a response, it doesn't happen that way, but the value is coming back. It really is, yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
So,
hey, John, what are some common objections you've heard by pitching this to some? Because I mean, I'm sure you've heard no or not interested. I mean, is there any one that stuck out that was common that you might find a lot of business owners are just like, leave me alone, or
Yeah. Did you get
I
any
don't.
negative responses to asking like if they want to join this WhatsApp?
yeah, I did. I mean, I had a few people, and it was crazy. A local taxi driver, and he actually took, yeah, he took offense. Like if you think about a taxi driver, you would imagine that the more people that rang him for a taxi, he'd be delighted.
Right.
Yeah.
No, no. He has a set agenda. He doesn't want to be bothered with clothes. Somebody put my number up on Facebook. He kind of blamed me. Well, I said I didn't because I didn't have your number before I. But I said so. He doesn't want clothes. He's on long runs. He's booked out. So he sees them as a nuisance.
Oh my
So
gosh.
so there's one word that I use when I hear something like that, and that's the word next.
Yeah. That's perfect. I love it.
Oh, the one other guy, he's a fabulous painter, very professional, top class. I told him about the group, and he said, "No, no, it's not something we'd be interested in at the moment." So why would you not want free exposure?
Right.
I know.
So there's
Yeah.
another expression I use that I just say, "Look, isn't that interesting?" And I move on,
Right.
because you'll never you'll never figure it out, right?
You won't. You
No.
can't. I have a hard time understanding some people's thought processes, and it's best for me to just move on. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'll be stuck on it all day.
Yeah,
And I agree with you. Why would you not want to be part of a community of people doing the same thing as you. Everybody in
Yeah.
business shares the same goal. They want to
Yep.
provide value, they want to sell their service or their product, and they want to gain exposure. So why not put all of those people together in the same place so that they can be sharing ideas, they can be building those relationships? Because
Yep.
when you have those relationships, who do you think that they are going to think of first when Jonathan, the gas station owner, has somebody that needs their house painted, and then that house painter decided not to join the group and build those relationships, he's not going to be, first to your mind.
Yeah.
Oh,
We always like to think of objections, and we learned this from another person who kind of teaches the same, maybe a different print model than us. But he always talks about like, say you do your pitch, and the guy's like, I gotta ask my wife, and then like you just go on to the next guy because the next guy won't have to ask his wife. So
Right.
just
Yeah.
don't just get bogged down in the no. Like the next one will.
hmm
There will always be a next one to ask. I guarantee you'll never run out of people to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't worry about it. I mean, it's like I think Dan Kennedy, I think it was, said that if you're not getting objections, well, you're not doing much, you know.
Right.
Um,
That's
so
exactly right.
yeah, so I just keep going, and I don't try to figure out. But I have to say that the people that were negative or objecting, were an extremely small percentage. Like most people that I rang up, they just, oh yeah, that sounds brilliant. And then I took their. Now the other thing that I did, which is probably very important, is that if you're asking them if they, to send you information to put in, because I welcome everybody that comes in, I welcome them as the name of their business, their contact, their mobile number, their Facebook page. If I was asking them to send me that information, I'd probably have about three people in the group now, not a
Right.
hundred more.
Yes.
So all I ask them is, would they like to join the group? If they say yes, I'll do the research. So I'll go onto their Facebook page, I'll get all their links, whatever I can find, and then I put it in there with a little intro, but and about, and then suddenly they're wowed, and
Right.
so I do that automatically. So
Yeah.
that helps a lot.
Yes. The less
Yeah.
that you have to ask them to do, the better. You start
Yeah,
putting all these steps in between there. You're right. You'd have three people in there
yeah,
because they go,
yeah.
screw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll have the best of intentions, but they just won't get around to doing it. So that's the
Right.
Exactly.
problem. Yeah. So that's basically where we're at there. Again, the group, there's 104 members. That's basically the little intro that I have on it there. And I created it on the 21st of April. So,
Yeah.
and it's been growing. And now the thing is, I did a lot of the work initially. Now, a lot of times, people will, in the group will approach me on WhatsApp or whatever and say, John, such and such a person, I don't know, I'm not sure if they're in the group or whatever. So it's kind of building momentum naturally now. It's kind of becoming organic, really, I suppose the word,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. We celebrate it when we hit a milestone. The last one was 100. The next one will be 110, and it's just a way of keeping a focus on the group. The
Yeah.
the other thing that I do as well, which is very valuable and has led to a lot of work between the members, is I keep updating the member directory. So I have it simple, all listed out alphabetically in the PDF, because what I do is I take the information that I compile when I'm welcoming them into the group and I add it to my list.
Okay.
So, and then I update it then when I get another few members in. So, and I post that into the group. Um, so that's another key thing that I'm doing. I'm hoping as well to start promoting that list out on the Facebook pages and whatever, so the local residents can find the business owners as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other thing we did is we had our first in-person meetup. That came from feedback in the group. Gee, wouldn't it be nice to meet up in person? So that's what prompted that. So I said, okay, let's do it. And we selected a date. I think it was the 5th of November. I met with Michael. Before meeting Michael, he didn't know me from Adam, and importantly, a lot of people didn't know about his restaurant. It's a
Okay.
fabulous, yes, it's a fabulous restaurant. He assumed everybody in the area knew about him. He was wrong.
Yeah. They usually are. It's
Yep.
unfortunate, but
Now here's one for you, an interesting one. Straight away, I offered to help Michael. I said, "My God, you have some menu. It's fantastic. They do a great Sunday carvery and everything." And I said, "I'll help you on Facebook. I won't charge you anything. I'll just plug you for say 2 or 3 months, and just send me your information. I'll put it up on the page." And he was I was struggling to get the information out of him. And do you know what was wrong? When we got, he was afraid to advertise.
really,
Oh,
Now, the reason for that is because he'd often get 60 to 70 people for his carvery on a Sunday. And
yeah,
he didn't want people to turn up and disappoint them by not having adequate room.
right,
So you learn these things. And my first impression was like, why wouldn't you want to just tell me what your menu is, you know?
right,
That's, when you dig a little deeper, there's always a reason. But like,
right.
oh,
he has been very supportive. He's after giving me printing work. I got posters to print for his Christmas parties. We have the next in-person meetup on the 7th of January. So straight away, like he's after getting a lot of business out of it. He told me himself that, John, I'm after getting a lot of new faces that are coming from the group. It's tremendous. We've had families up and everything. So it's working for him.
That's incredible.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so we got 18 people to turn up. We did, three
And
simple.
also, John, I don't want to interrupt you, but I
Yeah,
want to say 18 people at your very first meetup is incredible. You hear so many people talking about, oh, yeah, I plan to meet up and, one or two people showed up. You got 18 people to come because you've built this community around you and the business owners in your area. They all know, like, and trust you. So you created an event and they came. So I just want to point out the importance of that.
yep. And we also, I purposely set a €5 fee,
Yeah.
not because Michael wasn't bothered about the money. He was happy to provide teas, coffees, and some nice yummies, as we call them over here, right? But so he was quite happy, but we said no. We want to do it so that you don't really have any cost as such as promoting you, but also I want people to make a commitment. If it's only €5, we know then we have numbers
Right,
rather than just going up there and hoping that people will turn up. I
right.
don't like the word hope. I hate that word.
I
So
know, I know.
Yeah, they almost feel, I'm sure they almost feel obligated when they actually give money. You're like, I'm trading money for this. I'm gonna go. Like
Yeah,
I would if I gave $5. I'm like,
I would do.
damn, I paid for it. I gotta
Right.
go.
And so out
there's
of everybody that paid, was it the 18 people that paid, or did some people pay and then not show up?
16 paid and 2 paid when they came up there,
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
cool.
Well, that's even better.
but they all paid.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah.
very cool.
So that was brilliant. And we had a free draw. I gave a prize, a nice bottle of wine. Rory gave a lovely IT,
Yeah,
prize. Mary is an author, and she gave one of her books, €20 value. So simple prizes, but
Yep.
we had a draw. Um, and again, what I did as well, which was different, learning from what I learned in being an I, is that, and I'll show you when we go on, but when they turned up, we had an introduction. They had a chance to introduce who they were. It wasn't like they were standing in the middle of the room and left out on the out. Everybody was drawn in, and that really worked well. They really enjoyed it and are looking forward to the next one. So Michael did, as I call him, the yummies.
the yummies. Looks yummy.
Yeah, and that's his wife Barta. And again, they're actually getting a great kick out. They had a fantastic evening, and they've got new clients out of it even before the event took place. So you can see there the people that were there, they enjoyed it. They really had a ball, and some serious conversations going on too about between them as well, which was great. And Rory did well. People were asking mighty questions about, cyber protection and the whole lot.
Yeah,
Uh, but it really worked well, yeah. And like Mary gave her presentation, I kept it to a very tight 10 minutes. I kept the whole thing to, we closed on the button at 8 o'clock. And people stay behind on network then for about another 30 minutes.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, and we had some 3 simple prizes there. And that went down a treat as well. And as I said, we had a lot of fun. It wasn't just a boring thing. We just had a bit of fun, and
yeah.
everybody enjoyed it. And then what they went back when I put those photographs into the WhatsApp group, and all the people that had gone along went in, oh my God, I really enjoyed that. It was fantastic. Can't wait for the next one. And they expanded on, they sold it for me for the next one.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Well, it's cool because you've created something that it almost feels like everybody knows each other before they get into that room. So I think some people have nerves around meeting new people, but if you've been in this chat and you're all talking, you know who's who, and then you just show up and you get to shake hands and put a name with the face, it feels way less intimidating for those introverted people like myself and
Yeah.
like Dalton. So I think it's just so cool, like just to create that comfortability and this group of people that already knows each other, and then you get them in a room together and you guys have fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. So then what happened then was as part of my 10-minute presentation, I explained one of the key things I had said about the meeting was that there was no selling allowed.
Yeah,
Okay. And I stayed true to that because I didn't want any of them to feel that, they were going to be sold something. I didn't
right.
want that, right? So I expanded on the card, what I was doing with it so far, the preparations. I was just like literally talking to them because these are fellow business owners. So I was telling them about the challenges I was having and where I saw this going and the benefits of it. And there was a great feedback, really very, very positive. Um,
Did
one of the
people
things,
seem interested in participating when you do launch your card?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, no, no, very much so. And they were starting to think about some of the things they could do for special offers and all that type of thing. So
very cool.
yeah, it was great. Yeah, and actually, Amy is she's a salon owner, and she said to me afterwards, John, that was great. Um, you know, you get so stuck in your own business. Like, I'm gonna getting some ideas tonight. It's brilliant, and I just think I should be doing more to promote myself too. You're absolutely right. So it's literally helping them to come out of the business and start thinking about what they could do to improve things.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like you could send a message in that WhatsApp and you would most likely have your card filled.
Yeah.
Like you would go, "Hey, I'm putting together this card," and you have an advantage. You have multiple advantages. One, you're another fellow business owner trying to promote your business. Two, you've built this group around you and they all know, like, and trust you. So I guarantee if you send out one message, you are going to have a card filled and you're going to be ready to rock.
Yeah. Now, John,
Yeah.
before we move on from this portion, like I want people to understand this as well, as like you don't have the benefit of EDDM
Mhm.
where
Oh,
the
yeah.
where the government mailing service can actually handle this process. Like you actually have to build your own mailing service. Can you
Yeah.
kind of walk us a little bit through that process?
Yeah. Well, what it is, we don't, you're absolutely right. The government in Ireland operates the postal service. It's called On Post. And On Post, we don't have an equivalent of EDDM. So, if I'm sending a letter or a mailing in Ireland, they don't differentiate at all in cost. So it would literally cost me €1.60 to send a postcard in the post. So if
Wow.
you so if you multiply that by 2,500, for your community card, forget about it. Which
Right.
is which is a perfect size, by the way, for our community. Our community, there's 1,900 houses. There's five and a half thousand people. So a 2,000 mailing is perfect for
Yeah.
our community,
Yeah.
but it just wouldn't be economical by sending it out with on post. So what I've done is I have three people now identified as being trustworthy that will hand deliver it door to door. Okay. Um, so I'm excited about that. But actually, what's really strange on it is that my cost is way lower. Like I intend rewarding the people that are doing it, but I mean, literally, I can get people to deliver for €60 a thousand. You know,
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah, they'll hand deliver that. So if I up that to say 100 per thousand, I'm still remarkably less in terms of cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it out there door to door.
Yeah.
And what's funny is in preparation for this, some of the local businesses are already asking me, if I get a flyer delivered, could you deliver it with the card? And I'm saying, well, look, it'll probably work out more economical for you to do it as a shared card.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I
You
think
know,
that that's like the perfect example of a couple things. One, you didn't let that stop you. It was an obstacle and you figured out how to overcome it. And I think a lot of people, they see an obstacle and they stop. So I just kind of want to point that out. You had a big obstacle. You have to hire people to walk these around town. And
yeah,
then not only that, but that obstacle actually worked out in your benefit, where it's significantly cheaper. Me and Dalton always say when we encounter a problem, we actually get excited because we usually end up figuring out a solution that was going to work better than our initial plan. So I think that that's just incredible that you were able to figure that out and you still are marching forward with it.
yeah. And see, there's one other important thing you've reminded me of there is the News and Star newspaper used to, back a good few years ago, deliver. I'm sorry, it was a freebie, a free sheet. It's like a free newspaper.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. So they used to deliver it years ago to the Ferrybank area, but for some reason they missed about three estates. Now the estates that they missed were low income families. They were people that were what's the word for it? Probably looked upon as being no point in sending stuff to them because they're not going to buy anything.
Right.
And there was a stigma attached to it as a result. And a lot of the people that, in those estates, because of my community work, were really upset about the fact that they never got this newspaper.
Aw.
Right. So I made a point of when I send out the postcard, everybody gets it.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when you're working with such a small community like that.
Yeah.
We were actually just talking to somebody else in Montana doing these cards, and she kind of the same thing, a very small town where she was mailing to, I believe she does like 5,000, but one street was left off like at the corner of the county. And
Right.
they were upset. They were actually coming into the post office saying, "Hey, why are my neighbors getting this, but we're not?" I don't think it was necessarily like a lower income situation. It was just sort of cut off. So
Yep.
that the town was so small and it's such a community type thing that it made it back to the postcard organizer.
Yep.
So she started including that route in there, and they were so happy about it. So I
Yep.
think that's yeah, I mean, they obviously want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a fundamental error to make a generalization, a decision
Hmm.
about an area. Because what I've found is, even in the most deprived, that's the word I was trying to think, even in the most deprived areas, if a person wants a satellite dish, they will get a satellite dish.
Yep.
It
Yes.
just, money is not the problem. So I think it's a mistake to make an assumption that because they're in a council house, that they're lower income, they're not going to buy our stuff.
Right.
Wrong time. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
You're not, yeah, they're not that's where most business owners go wrong is
Hmm.
they try to make up in their mind what, like they just fabricate this story of why they don't do something.
Hmm.
And like we've
Yeah.
heard it before, we're like, that like neighborhood, it's not, they don't have much money, but it's true. Like if somebody needs something, they're gonna figure out what they need to do to get it. Like
Right.
it's a need. It's like, now obviously if you're selling, knickknacks, like yeah, you could hold off on that. But if you if you're selling like a new roof, like somebody's gonna have an insurance company they're gonna go to and say, I need a new roof. So you never
Yep.
know.
And I mean, it kind of goes back to ju don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Someone might not care to live in the nicest of homes, but they've got plenty of income, or
Yeah.
they don't have a problem spending money on the things they want or need. So
Yep.
absolutely, you can't just judge
Yeah.
them by where they live.
Yeah, we've talked to millionaires that we would never think
Hmm.
would have
Yeah.
$100,000, let alone a million. So never judge a book by its cover.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
no,
Hmm.
no. So that was it. That was interesting. Yeah. So what I'm doing, I've got to keep updating the member directory, and also, I a lot of people are saying, "Oh my God, it must be an awful lot of work," but it actually isn't because you don't need to be contributing to the group every single day.
No,
I
Right.
mean, oftentimes a member will ask a question, and that will start taking things off. All I've got to do is go in and say, "Well done, thanks for sharing that," or whatever. So
Right.
you don't, you're not under pressure every single day. but I add in, good news. Obviously the one today was very relevant because the ATM is a big issue in the area.
Yeah.
Um, so, but you're not under pressure as such. And then again, the benefits, I suppose, networking. Most small businesses, I'm familiar with BNI, but an awful lot of typical small businesses have never really been to networking. They're not in the chamber. They don't understand about media, and so it's really refreshing for them to meet up with other business owners. And I mean, I give you an example. Even I put in one of the members launched a new food truck, and I put in photographs and wished her well, and I put it on Facebook as well. Okay. And a couple of months went by, and Ronan, the owner of the Shanty bar, it's a really good music gig. He rang me up privately. He said, John, I don't remember the name of that lady, but the woman with the food truck, could I get her contact details? And I said, sure, yeah. So gave him the details. And later I discovered afterwards, because she rang me up to thank me.
Yeah.
She she got the call from Ronan, called up to speak with him, was up with him for over an hour. He needed a solution for food at his gigs, and he's after giving her the contract. Plus, he's after giving her the use of the car park, which she can operate from and advertise it as a location.
Oh,
So,
Oh,
wow.
nice.
all of these things are happening, and so what I try to do if I can is when I learn about them is put in well done on that. That was fantastic and shows you the value of the group
Yeah.
because an awful lot of things are happening and I'm not even aware of it. But
Mhm.
there's positives. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a super cool
That's really
story.
cool.
I love that.
Um, Again, people ask questions, their answers, they might have a problem, they're trying to source. Like one of the ladies there, Tanya, she opened a new dance studio and she just asked, does anybody have a particular water heater for making teas and coffee? And Ronan, again in the shanty, put his hand up and said, I have my one, I'm not using it, you can have it. So
Yeah.
so helping each other and building relationships. And referrals have started happening. Um, Again, Mary Darlington, the author, she's after getting exposure with her book. People now know what she's doing. Michael with the View Bistro has definitely got business from it. And again, sharing knowledge, sense of belonging to each other. And again, look, the unexpected bonus there. I got an email. You mightn't be able to read it that well there, but basically, Tran is a lady. She's from Thailand and she's married to a chap called Darren, and they're living in Ferrybank. And she was really trying hard to get a location for her new nail bar, right?
Yeah.
So I helped her with various contacts. Now she wasn't successful in getting a place in Ferrybank, but she got a great location on the Dunmore Road, which is super. And when she got that, she rang me up and said, "John, of course, in the printing, nobody gives you any notice. They think that, John, I'm opening on Wednesday. This is Monday. I need gift cards, I need business cards, I need menus. Oh, right.
Right.
I pulled the stops out and I got them for her, right? But now her husband, Darren, is back. I followed up with it after getting it delivered and after getting paid for the printing. Last week, I just messaged him on WhatsApp. Darren, how are things going with yourself and Tran? Good, I hope. Anybody I can help, blah, 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 blah. And this morning he's back looking for more printing.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
and I mean, I never knew them before that.
Yeah.
And now suddenly, there's a great relationship there.
Yeah. But and like can I also add that like you don't have to own a print business to do this. You can still like white label other print from another, printing
Yeah,
provider.
absolutely. And that's what I'm doing. I mean, I'm a broker.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, which is even better because you don't have
Yeah,
to own any of the equipment, no
Nope.
no,
staff, like you said. It's a
yeah.
fantastic business model.
Yeah.
Margins are beautiful.
I got, I have access, like my minimum margin would be 45 euro,
Yep.
45%.
Yep.
But typically I'm 65 to 80%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And John, are you a business broker or a real estate broker?
No, he's a print broker.
Oh, you're a print
Oh,
broker.
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
There's a
What
broker for
what is
everything.
a print broker? Like, can you explain that to me and the audience just in case they don't know?
Yeah, so what it is basically is like I work from home, and now I have a lot of experience with printing, so I would know printing, okay? But so in terms of when somebody calls me up and wants to get something printed, I have around 13 suppliers. I have a person in signage. I have a person who specializes in lithographic. I have a person who specializes in digital print. I have somebody who can do, so I have 13 different suppliers, and I would kind of select them based on how quickly the job is needed, the quality required. Docket books, I do an awful lot of those. Even in the age of the internet, a lot of people still use, invoice books, docket books, delivery books, triplicate, and all that. So they ring me up if they're looking for a rubber stamp. You know the
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
so they ring me up. I select the supplier. I handle all of the artwork. I don't have the graphic designer speak with them at all. What they want is they want to be able to tell me what they want, and they want me to go back with a proof and handle the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? They
Yep.
never even ask. They never even ask me, "Do you print yourself?"
Yeah.
They won't either.
Yeah.
You know, and,
Yeah.
and if they
That.
do ask, I say, "Well, look, I have invested in some, multi-million euro companies
Yep.
uh, that have all the production facilities that I would ever need, so I can deliver the top class work. But I handle everything. And what they love about it is that pretty much when I go back with a proof, I've already checked it with the graphic designer. I'll often reject it and say, no, no, Eric, that's not what I meant. You need to do this, 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 and this. So when it goes back to the client, they're, oh, wow, they might have a couple of minor changes, but in essence, it's either perfect or they just want a minor change. But I've done all of the work in the background to make
Yeah.
sure, you know. So then when it's done, I pay for the printing and it's delivered. Most of the time, it's delivered straight to the customer. I never see it. I
Yeah.
never touch it. Okay, and I can deliver nationwide. I can include free delivery. Um, it's a beautiful model. So I have no overhead, no full-time staff. Everything's outsourced. My graphic designer, one of my most, he's with me about maybe 15 years. He's based in the Philippines.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, and this fits in perfectly with the community cards because that's exactly what everybody does with the community cards. We
Yep.
sell the spots on the card. We send it to a printer to get printed. The printer ships it to the post office. So the only time we ever get actual postcards is if there was any left over from that run. We get the
Yeah.
extras. So yeah, we're not handling it either. And
Nope.
it's amazing. Our business is home based as well. We don't ever have to touch a machine. We don't have
Yep.
to do the print press or this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
And no, it's a beautiful model, and
Huh?
and you can achieve some pretty high margins.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
and again, if you're looking at getting graphic design in Ireland, you're probably talking 30 to 60 euro an hour.
Yeah. Hmm.
My cost is €8.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
That's
You know,
awesome.
but I mean, but and again, you know, like it's a great model, and and when I get printing in, I make a profit. In my last business, I had 25 staff, so 25 mouths to feed every week.
I know.
Yeah.
So whether or not I made any money, I still had to pay those people, and I had six
Right.
shops and the rent and everything. So I
Yeah.
learned a lesson with that.
Yeah.
So I outsource everything. I'd really, really struggle to take people on full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Affiliate marketing sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Yep. So it's great, and again, look, you can achieve great margins with it, and
Yeah.
I love the business as well. I enjoy the printing business,
Yeah.
and yeah. So and it's great because as well you're meeting business owners for the most part. I don't deal with consumers. It's like
Right.
99% is business to business,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
and you
what
can.
you're creating with this community, it's a community of business owners. Every business needs print, whether
Yep.
it's business cards, flyers, brochures, signs, cards, postcards, any of
Yep.
the above. They need what you have, what you
Yep.
offer. So you're
Yeah.
building the relationship with your ideal customer.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the cool thing about the white label services that like you're kind of doing print arbitrage is like all these businesses, most of them, they can all fulfill the same. Like they're all doing the same,
Hmm.
relatively the quality of work. Like the only thing that these businesses like defer in is like the relationships that they can build.
Hmm.
So like nowadays it's so easy to white label somebody's fulfillment and just build the relationships and sell it. And that's what you're doing. So I think it's, that's what we do a lot with some of the services we provide. And all it is people want the relationship.
Hmm.
They don't care how it gets fulfilled.
Yep.
No, no. Like in terms of the printing, they're dealing with me now. So and I handle it all for them. So I take away their headache. Like when Tran rang me up and said on a Monday, John, I'm opening the new store on Wednesday. I figured out how to get the result. Okay.
Right.
And I delivered to them on time, so they were absolutely thrilled. So they went onto my Google business profile, gave me a fantastic review.
Love it.
I've got all 5-star reviews. There's there isn't even a 4-star. They're all
Good for
five.
you. That's awesome. I believe it.
Yeah, and it's great. And like so, they don't want to like. I think it was Dan Kennedy again that said that in business and in every other area, nobody wants to hear about the labor pains. They
Mhm.
just want to see the baby. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what I did for Tram. I made sure they got their printing for their new opening, and they were thrilled. And now they're back today again, looking for more.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You fulfill once, you give them a good experience, they're going to keep coming back,
Yep.
Yep.
especially with print. I mean, we use somebody who's not local to, our area, but we have gotten things like last minute printed in our area, and I'll tell you, we did not have a good experience with them. They were
Yep.
rude, they were upset, they were like they didn't tell us that something was going to print blurry, like it wasn't the right file format. So
Yeah, they don't give a crap.
right, I mean, it is about the relationship. I would pay more to deal with somebody who's going to call me and tell me, "Hey, this isn't going to print right," or we need to do it this way, that way, whatever. And that's exactly what you're giving them. You're giving
Yep.
them good customer service, and you're going to make sure that their print is delivered to them in the way
Yep.
that they expect it to. They
Hmm.
don't care if it's you doing it out of your garage or someone else fulfilling it. It
Yeah.
gets to them, but they've dealt with you and you've done a great job.
We worked with some, well, we didn't work directly with them, but they told us a story about they were doing a 9 by 12 card, and they sent it off to a local printer,
Oh,
and
yeah.
what the local printer ended up doing was they printed the same advertisers on both sides. So like, and they printed 10,000 of them, and
Right.
they didn't want to give them back his money. They were being like really hard to work with, and it's like, look at the terrible relationship they,
Hmm.
and print is like, it's pennies compared to what you pay in postage.
Hmm.
So I don't know why
Yep.
they would just go through just reprinting and having a happy customer that would
Yeah.
come back and buy from you over and over again.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, I got one the other day where they sent me a poster. Oftentimes now people think that something's ready to print. There's a big
Yeah.
difference between sending an image, a
Right.
PNG file or a JPEG, and no cut marks, no bleed. It's not set up at all. So I don't even try to worry them with that. I just explain what I need and I'll get it done. So it's absolutely perfect. Because like Canva is super, but most people don't know how to produce a print ready artwork from it. So
Right.
consequently, it's so yeah. So again, I mentioned that what makes I think the group work is zero pressure on the members. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to participate. They slowly but surely get involved, but there's no pressure. Again, givers gain. It works. It's just a simple way of doing business, I think. And again, look, I even try, I think I mentioned it before, I don't position myself as the admin necessarily. I'm just one of the members, and that's
Right.
working as well. So it's not about me trying to be something. I'm just one of them, and
Right.
that works really well. Um, so next wise, more in person. Our next one is set up for the 7th of January, a Wednesday again, same venue, and this time I reckon we'll get more.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm going to expand it slightly into two other areas outside of Ferrybank. Um, Again, I'm going to involve into maybe a discount card, but the coupon card, I have a number of really exciting things in development there, but they're not quite like in Ireland. We have every kind of challenge, and we have a number related to that. But I'm working on solutions to that. But I really want to get the community card out as soon as I can. Um, and again, the other thing that I was going to say too, and I don't know why you didn't say it here because but it's not shown. But it's the other thing that came out of that. You might remember the post that I did recently, or the video for Colin Malloy the butcher.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that came out of this group because people were saying, "Oh my God, like what are we going to do?" The local radio station are talking negatively about Ferrybank. Christmas is coming up. How are we going to combat it? So that's how I came up with the idea to go down to Colin and say, look, what is the story? I've heard all this negativity. And that video has had an amazing effect. The last time I checked was earlier this morning and it had 17,000 views.
Oh my gosh. You just posted that like a week ago, right? A week or so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It, and it had 215 likes and 49 comments. I mean, it's really very successful. But that came literally from the group. So it's been a great experience, and it's only kind of starting. I thought yeah. So that's basically what I've done. Anything else that you want to fire at me in terms of what I've done there, let me know. But I'm happy to share any aspect of it.
Yeah, this really reminds me of something that our coach always says, he who holds the marker makes the money. And this is not only a way to increase your business, it's a way to increase other people's businesses. And we're all about helping, of course, like we said. So when you kind of remove yourself and that money piece, and you really focus on how you can help others
Yeah.
and what's going to benefit others, that's when you really see that shift happen and when things start coming in for you too. So you just kind of take the focus off of yourself and start thinking about others. And
Hmm.
that's when it really starts to like change your business. It makes such a big difference. And I think that's exactly what you're building here
Hmm.
for the community, not just the business owners that are involved in the WhatsApp chat and your Facebook group, but all of the residents in the town too. You're really tying the knot between business owners and residents. You're closing
Yep.
that gap. You're helping everybody get seen. You're helping the residents get what they need. And it's just this whole big present with a bow on it that leads back to you, which
Yeah.
I think is incredible.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
John. Oh, were you going to say something, John?
no, that's pretty much it. You said it exactly, and it's creating a value for it's a win-win situation, really. I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I mean, this is definitely another form of indirect advertising where like your goal is not to get an ROI, your goal is just to play the top of mind awareness. So like everybody
Yep.
knows John's the printer, but everybody also knows everything that's in front of that print job that John's brought together.
Hmm.
If you were gonna basically like say you were wanting to help somebody out that wanted to do this community on their own, like what do you think the first like let's say they wanted to put in a simple little system, what are 3 steps they could like start taking today to start building a community like this?
Yeah, well, like the first thing I find with most businesses is that they don't really think about testing first of all, but the problems that they have is they never really think about building a list. That's the number one thing.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's
Absolutely.
basically it's like Colin. I've got a great relationship with Colin Malloy the butcher. He's a great guy, and he actually promotes himself. Probably one of the best at promoting. Every week he has a €50 offer.
Hmm.
So and he goes on. He does a video on Facebook. He pushes it. I share it a lot on Facebook for him as well, and it always has an effect. But here's the thing. I was trying to talk to Colin in terms of measuring how I could help him if I started promoting him properly with a view
Yeah.
to the 9 by 12 card. And I asked him, like, the €50 offer that he has, how many of those on average are redeemed every week? And he couldn't tell me.
Hmm. That's
Even though he's in the shop most of the time himself. And I said, like, do you not know how many you're selling? No, because he said they go into the regular daily takings. So he's not testing or measuring it.
right.
Yeah.
So the first thing that they don't do is they don't put a list together.
Yep.
Hmm.
The second thing they don't do is they don't communicate with the list, you know. So and they struggle mightily with that. So what I want to do is start helping them with that, but by taking it from them. In other words, explain the concept, but have a solution for them that they can dip their foot in.
Yeah.
Yep.
A foot in the door offer,
Yep.
so that get them in very low target audience, and I think that's going to be huge potential because I know it works, and the biggest problem if I'm looking back over the last number of years myself, I assumed that everybody knew I was John the printer, and I was wrong.
Right. Imagine that.
I've learned that hard lesson in the WhatsApp group because the amount of business I'm getting from the WhatsApp group now is growing. And it's great, and it's all local, and I don't have to go, too far searching. There's enough business on my doorstep
Yeah.
without having to go too far, and I just need to go deeper with those relationships.
Yep.
But that's really a big lesson for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, and I think there's a huge amount. One idea that I'm trying to come together with on the community card. My son lived in Banff for about a year in
Okay.
Alberta.
Yeah.
And he told me about the first Tuesday of every month, all of the local retailers had a discount card for the local residents. They had to get their local residents card. So think about that for Ferrybank. If I could have the first Tuesday of every month, all of the local businesses that are in the WhatsApp group have a special offer for the local residents only.
Yeah.
So that could be very powerful too.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard of things like that. And another thing that just came to my mind is whenever you're working on a project for somebody, you could just post a quick picture of it. I know you don't have like the physical copies, but you could post the digital photo of it. And as long as you think they're okay with you sharing that, and just
Mhm.
say, look at this super cool project for this restaurant that I'm working on. Look for it, if it's a banner, look for it in town. Just find some way to be posting what you're working on inside of that WhatsApp group as a
Yeah,
way to, I mean, one, be promoting the other businesses. And like say you're printing some flyers for an event. Post a picture of the flyer, say I'm working on getting these printed for this business, come to their event. Find a way to make it about promoting them, but at the same time, it's then telling and retelling people that you do print, that
Yeah.
you offer print. And
yep.
there's probably people in your group that are like, oh, this guy named John added me. And they're like, I don't know what John does. And then you keep posting about what you're doing. It's just going to keep flooding back into
Yeah.
to your business.
We've infiltrated groups before by like value posting.
Hmm.
You don't sell anybody anything. I mean, we've gone into big networking groups and we've been like, look at all the stuff we're doing. Look at this cool thing we're working on. Look at like if somebody's interested, like we'll help you get this up and going for free. There's just so much that you can do in a group to make yourself stand out without asking for anything in return.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you're posting about your print and your projects in that WhatsApp group, it's just going to remind people over and over that you do print.
Yeah, you'll play the Toma game, the top
Yeah.
of mind awareness.
And the other thing that has happened actually naturally is that some of the like I got a lovely bit of printing from one of the members there, whom I know with years, but he never realized really until he joined the group what I was doing. So
Mhm.
he gave me two separate jobs. On a soccer pitch where they have the huge big signs on the side, pitch
Yeah.
sign.
Yep.
So he ordered four, and I've just delivered another four yesterday.
Wow.
So €700 per order
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah,
on those, and I helped design all those, and like they all needed to be vector, a good quality vector drawn of the logos and all that. So we handled all of that. But I mean, he went in and thanked me for, and he actually put a photograph in of the pitch signs, which was great, and that
Yep.
got me more business. So
Yes.
you're right, absolutely, yeah,
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 absolutely. Anytime you can get photos from your customers, I would ask them, say, hey, when you get your order, can you send me a picture of it? I'd love to add it to my gallery. And then you
yep,
have photos of the actual printed items, and
yep,
you can start sharing that in your WhatsApp group, in your Facebook group, and
yep,
people get to see your work showcased. And You're just using it as a way to promote them while promoting you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll kind of get closing up here, but I got kind of another small question for you. Do you feel like you're getting any value being a part of the community that we've built within Go Collab for the community card playbook?
Absolutely, because well, it's helping me in a couple of ways. Probably one of the biggest is to keep me focused on getting the car done because it's so easy to slip back into your busy mode.
Hmm.
And I've been really busy the last couple of months with the printing. But I see Rachel put something in, I see you putting something in, I'm saying, flip, I need to get moving here. So that in itself is a value because it's keeping me on track that I need to get this done. So that's great, and it's super seeing the questions and other communications coming in. It's great, and the comments. I get a lot of value from the comments because you learn an awful lot from it as well. But I think it's great for ideas, and it's a great place. There's an awful lot to be said when you have like-minded individuals,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's perfect for that. You
Yeah.
know,
I
so.
agree. We appreciate you saying that. I get a lot of value from the comments too. And when somebody posts a question and I hop in there and I see there's already a few comments from other members giving their input, I get so excited. I am like, I'm happy to be late to the party. Like, it's our community, but I get so excited when we're not the first comment because that means that other members have learned things and they're sharing their
Yeah.
experiences, they're sharing their opinions, and that's when you get the most value. Me and Dalton can be different from somebody else. Our
Mhm.
experience is different from somebody else's. So I love when everybody's in there engaging and sharing on the comments and sharing posts. So I'm totally agree with you on that.
Yeah, I love seeing the wins as well. I think Heather had a great win there recently, so it's absolutely
Yeah.
super. And
Yeah.
and you realize that look, that you're not alone. That people they're going through the challenges, they're getting on top of it, and you get inspired by other people's success, which is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Well, you are certainly inspiring other people's success with everything that you've built here. It's really unique. It's something that Dalton and I have learned from our business coach to create an audience, create a community, um,
Mhm.
get people together, and you are executing it perfectly.
Yep.
So I see it growing your print business. I see it helping you execute these community cards with no problem.
Mhm.
So thank you so much for sharing everything that you're building, and we cannot wait to see what you come up with next on this journey. It is just a pleasure watching you, John.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Thanks very much.
All
Thanks to you
right.
both.
Thank you, John.
See you.